Hey everybody, this is Tammy at All About Living, and today is Valentine's Day, so we are going to make chicken Alfredo from scratch. Doesn't take a whole lot. I'm going to show Randy's going to take you over here and show you the ingredient list, and then we're going to get started. Okay, the first thing you're going to need is some kind of pasta. So I'm using just spaghetti noodles tonight, but you can use whatever you like. You know, you can use ziti, fettuccine, egg noodles, whatever you like, and whatever's in your cupboard. Don't run to the grocery store. Use what you got. Then for the Alfredo sauce, you're going to need some garlic, some Italian seasoning, and some salt. You're going to need Parmesan cheese and any other kind of white cheese you like. You know, this is white American, but you can use mozzarella, you can use an Italian mix. Doesn't really matter as long as you got Parmesan and some other kind of cheese. And then we're going to be using half and half and heavy cream. And the star of the show is chicken. And the first thing we're going to do, and then for bread, I have this really stale bread, and I'll show you what to do with that stale bread so you can still eat it and it's still good. We're going to take this chicken and we're going to season it up and get it in our pan. Okay, we're going to season up this chicken. It's not rocket science and it's not hard, and you don't need a measuring spoon. You just kind of put your Italian seasoning out there. Take you some garlic. Just a couple of runs across. Take your salt. Put your salt on there. And just mix it all up. Just so a little bit of that seasoning gets on all your chicken. It's really all you're looking for. Alright, now we're going to go over to the stove and I'll show you what to do with that chicken. Okay, we're going to get our chicken in this pan. We're going to take 4 little pats of butter in my heated pan. See, hear that sizzle? I heated that pan. You need to heat even stainless steel pans need to be heated just like cast iron before you start cooking in them. That's why people stick stuff all the time. Alright, I got that 4 little sticks of butter. We'll put a little extra virgin olive oil in there. We're going to let that get hot and sizzle. There we go. Got that sizzle going. It's nice and hot. And we're going to drop that chicken in there. Now we're just going to let that cook. Shouldn't take 5 minutes. Because I used 2 chicken breasts. And then I cut them, I cut them this way. And then I cut them in little squares so that they're bite size. Which you can tell. I mean, you can tell they're just little bite size pieces. And then we're going to brown it up. Crazy people in Washington talking about cutting off your gas stoves. You know, Burger King would have to shut down. They're just losing their way. Alright. We are almost there. See, it doesn't take long at all. All we're really doing is just browning that and making sure that the juices stay inside when we put it in the Alfredo sauce. The chicken will be tender. Okay, our chicken is good. It's not all the way done, but it's 90% there, and that's what we want. So we're going to take this and we're going to scoop it out. But we're going to leave as much of that butter and oil in there as we can. Okay, I've got my chicken in my bowl, and we're just going to set that aside. And now we're going to turn this. Well, actually we're not. We're going to leave it just like that. Now I've left as much of the juices as I could in that pan. And then we're going to take this half and half. And we're going to pour. I don't have a measuring cup right this minute, so we're just going to pour roughly a cup and a half. 2 cups. I don't measure anything. I've done this so long. I mean, I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. All right, and then I'm going to put about a half a cup of heavy cream in there. Gonna put us some Italian seasoning. Gonna put us a little garlic. Gonna put us a little salt. We're gonna stir that. And we're going to let it get warm. We're not going to let it boil. We're just going to let it get hot. I don't know why people waste their money on Alfredo in a jar when it's so easy to make and tastes so much better. And you know what's in it. You know what you put in it. You're not some kind of freaky ingredient you can't pronounce. And it only takes, it really only takes a few minutes. Okay, well, while we're letting that get hot, now don't let it boil because then it'll curdle. You don't want that. You just want it to get hot. And while we're doing that, I'm going to come over here and see if my water for my pasta is boiling yet. And then we're going to put that pasta in the pot. Now my water is boiling, and I'm going to put an overabundance of salt in this water. The reason for that is so that pasta will absorb some of that salt and not just taste like dough. Alright. We're going to put this pasta in here. Now I know the directions on the box tell you need 4 whole quarts of water, but I have never used 4 quarts of water unless I was making like a stock pot full. It'll all go down in there. But I have lost my we'll get it down in there. Alright, there we go. We're going to let that come back up to a boil. And the package directions on that muller said it would take 11 to 12 minutes to be ready. All right. Our Alfredo is hot. And now we're going to add our cheese. I really like to use the white American because it melts so good. You know, mozzarella sometimes will get kind of stringy, but white cheddar just gets smooth as silk, and I really like that. And that's probably about a cup and a half. That's a good cup and a half of cheese. All right, and we're gonna put about a cup of Parmesan. And we're just gonna let that melt. And your Alfredo is done. You don't even need meat, you know, if you're like my sister and a vegetarian, I would just stop right here, pour her some out, and wait for the pasta, and she's good. So that could be your meatless Monday or something if you are into that kind of thing. We like meat around here. We don't have a problem with meat. All right, now I'm going to put my chicken right back in there. I'm going to turn it down on low so that I don't burn my sauce. And I'm going to put this lid on it so I can see it and make sure that it stays just where it's hot enough to finish cooking that chicken. And now I'm going to come back over here and check on my pasta. Okay, my water's boiling. Or it's back up to a boil, so we're about 11 to 12 minutes out according to the box, and we'll have pasta. So while that's finishing cooking, I'm going to show you how to make that stale bread good for dinner. In this pot, it's on real low. I have 1 stick of melted butter, and to that I'm going to add probably a good teaspoon of garlic, and we're going to get that all nice and goody in there. I left that bread in the fridge too long, and it's about as hard as a rock. But waste not, want not. There's always a way to fix it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to fix it. Okay, we're going to take our bread, and we're just going to drop it in there, both sides. Let all that butter soak up in there. Rich is not the word for this, or is the word. This whole dinner is super rich. this last one in there. And then turn that off. We don't need it anymore. It's getting a little hot. Alright. Okay, now we're going to open that lid and we're going to check on that, see how thick. Perfect Alfredo sauce. Thick, rich, creamy. Didn't take a whole lot of time, didn't take a whole lot of money. And you literally could have this on the table 30 to 40 minutes. You could absolutely have this on the table. There we go. Just gonna let that sit, let that chicken cook a little longer. And now I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with that bread. And we're going to do about a medium heat, medium low. We don't want it real hot because we don't want to burn the bread. But we're going to let that cast iron get hot. And then we're going to put that bread on there. Brown it, toast it. It's going to be perfect. I don't know if this is the right way or the wrong way, but I just grab up a little piece of that pasta. Kind of do it like that to get the heat off, and then I take a bite, and then I see if it's the texture I want, and then we call it good. It needs a minute or two. We're just gonna leave it in there a minute or two. Okay. I'm just gonna check this, make sure I'm not sticking, and I'm not. I've got that heat down low enough. And I'm sure that chicken is done. Yep, that chicken is done. Fall apart done. Okay. So this is ready, and I can turn it off. And just let that lid keep that heat in there. My cast iron skillet is My skillet's fairly hot. I think I'm gonna turn that up just a little bit. Not much, but just a little. Okay. And I'm gonna put that butter-filled bread on there. And I can't get but 3 of those on there, so I have to do a second load. And my pasta is done. I am positive that pasta is done. So we need to
take it all in stride.
Okay. This pasta is absolutely done. So we're gonna go get that drained, and then I'll be right back. Okay, and to keep that pasta from sticking, we're just gonna take that extra virgin olive oil, and we're probably gonna put about 1/4 of a cup in there. And we're just going to stir that up. Make sure that pasta gets some of that oil on it. And then you won't have sticky, icky problems. You just pick it up. There we go. Nice and easy peasy. There we go. Alright, now we're going to go back over here and check our bread so we don't burn it. Flip that. And it's hot. There we go. We're going to turn that down. Because we don't want to burn it. And we're ready. We are done. It is ready to go. Okay, we're going to plate this up. Here we go. There's my pasta sauce. Got our spaghetti in here. We have our Alfredo and our chicken. Now if you like your sauce thicker, then just keep right on cooking it till it's the thickness you like. We like it like this because it'll fall all down through the pasta. So it's good to the last bite. There we go. Alright, we're gonna do that. We're gonna put this bread on here. You know, instead of going to Olive Garden and spending $100, just stay home and spend 15. Then you got $60 more to go do something else with. You know, quit wasting money going out to eat when you can make it just as good or better than any restaurant. And if you guys like what you saw tonight, you know, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, you know, subscribe, come back and see us. Good night.